Robert, good afternoon again.
How you doing?
Good, good. So what we're going to be doing today, to put it in plain terms, we're going to establish your natural chewing position. And it's very important to have the teeth arranged to match your natural chewing position so everything feels in unison. Okay?
Cool.
So what I made today are these little devices here that we call bite blocks. And basically they're a wax representation of the finished product. So it looks like a denture, but obviously there's no teeth there yet. So this should fit nicely inside your mouth, and they're made based on the final impression that we took last time.
Okay.
Remember those impressions? So we're not going to do that again today.
Cool.
But this is the original that we took,
Okay.
and this is the final. So you can see there's a lot more detail on this one,
yeah.
a little fuller looking than the original. And of course, this is the lower one, this is the original, this is the lower model, and then the bite block on top of that. So we're gonna go through quite a few motions today, a lot of in and out today, to get them to the right measurement as far as the opening is concerned, and as far as getting the relation of your jaw to your top of your of your mouth. Okay. So it's gonna take us maybe about an hour and a half. But on the bright side, this is probably the last lengthy appointment for you. If everything goes well today, next time around what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have pretty much the same devices, but the difference is I'm gonna have some teeth in there.
Okay.
So we can try it in, and if everything works out well next week in terms of the arrangement, the look, the length, the color, if you like what you see, and then the appointment after that, we're done.
Cool.
Okay, so we're almost there. So I appreciate your patience so far, especially on the last appointment. It wasn't too easy, and this one's going to be a little bit lengthy, but not to the severity that it was last time. Okay,
Cool.
So let's get started. Before we get started, I just want to point out something over here in terms of some of the armamentarium. Obviously, we have our master casts there and our bite blocks, and just to do a quick pan here. What we'll need for this appointment, obviously a Bunsen burner, an alcohol torch. We have some hand instruments here to reduce the bite blocks if we have to. We have a magic marker, fine point that I like to use, a ruler, a tongue depressor that we're going to use to record some measurements. And I have another one here that's got a little bit of Vaseline on, and you'll see how we're going to use that later on. Rim former, we have our face bow, which you don't have in first year, but you'll definitely get one once you get into second year. And this is going to establish the relation of the maxilla to the TMJ, and that's all it does. And it will also enable us to mount the maxillary cast to the articulator that you see over here. We also have this little device, it's the plane indicator that I'm going to use it a little bit later on. And we also have the joint registration holder, or I like to call it as a transfer jig. And that will enable us to mount the face bow onto the articulator. You don't have to bring the articulator to this appointment, but I like to bring it to the clinic at this point, because once I get the face bow transfer from the patient, I tentatively put it over, and you'll see it a little bit later on how I do that, just to see, to eyeball, or just to assess the relation of the face bow transfer to the articulator. So we want it to be somewhat centered in the middle of the articulator, and somewhere in the middle, so, and somewhat leveled. Okay. We also have some bite registration material, some injection cartridges, some adhesive, and I think that's everything. So we're good to go. So we're going to start the appointment, and I'll walk you through it.